Hello and welcome to, I think this is episode 12 of my Mind, Body, Spirit series. So I've been thinking about what I wanted to talk to you about and about amalgamating the mind, body, spirit so that you live a meaningful, wholesome life. And I thought that I would talk to you about getting yourself prepared to put them all together and how you can do that and why you would want to do that. And I heard from my guides that they would like to talk to you as well. So they want me to tell you that I've been reading this book called Autobiography of a Yogi. And I started reading it at a time in my life when there was a lot of change. Hoodah, kitties. No kids. Sorry, the cat's trying to come in my office. I don't let them in. So I started reading that book about the same time I started this new job, and so I only could read it a bit at a time because my mind was so full of the things I needed to learn for this new job. But as I was reading the book, I made notes, and I wish I would have brought oh yeah, I have my iPad here. Okay, good. Because I have some notes that I want to share with you. So what I do is so I like how our world is so cool now because you can actually check out ebooks from the library, and the app's called Hoopla, and so you sign into the library of your choice, wherever the region you're in, and then you can look for the book that you want to borrow, and so you can just borrow a book from your own home or whether you're traveling or wherever, and you can read that book at your leisure. And I like to read books on my tablet, and I like to put the background black and the text white so that it's easy to read. So this book called Autobiography of a Yogi is about several people who were yogis. So yogis are people who, I have it in my notes, I'll read it to you, but they're like, you don't have to. Okay, come on. So a yogi is a person who can, listen, here's my notes. Anyone who practices a scientific technique of God contact is a yogi. So if you've been listening to my videos and you follow me on Facebook or Instagram, you know that I do the Dr. Joe Dispenza meditation for tuning into the new potential. And what that meditation has you do is bring up your energy from your root chakra, so that's down between, that's like, it's at the base of your spine, basically down in between your legs. Okay, so you bring your breath up and you imagine that it travels up your spine, and as it travels up your spine, you go through your energy centers, right? So it goes root, sacral, solar plexus, heart, throat, pineal gland, and then up to your crown chakra. So you bring the energy up, and as you bring it up, you're breathing it up your spine, and you're holding your breath, so you squeeze your perineum down there, right? And you can feel the pressure coming up, and you feel the pressure. And when you do this over and over, and I've been doing it for months on end, when you do it over and over, a couple months, you can actually get to the point where you feel the pressure up in your crown chakra. So you're taking yourself out of survival mode and you're putting yourself into thriving mode. That's how they said it. So you put yourself into the thriving mode, and when you put your energy up here, you are tapping into the quantum field, and you're tapping into the possibilities, and you've changed yourself from a focus on your body, of being a physical being, into one that is energy, right? He says, Dr. Joe says in that meditation, don't let your body be your mind, because we are so programmed by our subconscious mind of how to act that we aren't even aware. Your subconscious mind is at least 90% of who you are, and your conscious mind is only about 10%. Some people say 5%, it varies with some people. Some people 7% conscious and 93% subconscious. So if you understand that everything that you've ever done and ever been, whether it's positive or negative or neutral, is stored in your subconscious mind of any being you've ever been, whether it's like plant, animal, human, whatever, because we have been many things, so we're not just human. If you understand that, so you have some programming, and if it was negative programming from other lives, there's a way to release it. So when you do that tuning into the new potential meditation, you bring your energy from the lower three chakras, which is survival and very physical, and you bring it into possibilities, which is in your pineal gland and your root chakra. So pineal gland and root chakra, crown. When I'm like, So when you bring your energy up there and you do that every day like a routine, you create an energy force field in your head so that your thoughts are linked to the emotions in your heart center, and you bring the energy into your life that you want. So my example was, I said, don't talk about your example. Okay. So I wanted to create certain things in my life, and I know I'm successful when I actually feel that in my meditation. I feel that energy that I want to feel in my heart center. And then I know that I have created that whatever I want, it's getting closer to me and closer to me and closer to me. And he says, Dr. Joe says in his books, that if you can create that feeling in your meditation and you can carry it with you throughout the day, then you will get closer to what you want to create than if you don't do it at all, or if you just do it intermittently. So some people complain that they can't get out of bed in the morning to meditate or whatever. They just, well, that's like, what's more important to you? Like more sleep, or actually getting things done up here, or having the sleep? So if you're not getting enough sleep, just go to sleep an hour earlier. So the autobiography of a yogi, there's so many parallels to what I have found as I go through life, and I'm questioning and curious from what I found throughout my life and in this book. And it really resonates with me. It really agrees with me. So I put a post on Instagram and Facebook today that, if you read this book, it will seriously change your life. And if you don't read it, if it doesn't change your life, then you need to read it again. So, so this yogi, he engages himself in a definite step-by-step procedure by which the body and mind are disciplined and the soul is liberated. So it makes you understand that you're much more than a human being, that you're much more than this physical being, that you are a bringer of light, or you have something that's plausible to give to humanity, or whether it's the animals or it's the plants or something. So you have something where you can be in service to people. And so they told me to mention these bracelets. So I wear bracelets, and I usually wear one on each wrist. I found that, like, if I'm at home, I don't need to wear bracelets because I don't need some energy protection. But when I go out, I find that it's best for me to wear crystals on both wrists, okay? Not just one, but both. So these are my favorite ones that I got from a place on the internet called the Dharma Shop, and these are energy bracelets, and I bought 2 of them, and they were not cheap. They were, pricey, but hey, I'm worth it. So they're made by people in Thailand, and if you didn't know this, I lived in Thailand for 4 years, and I went through like a spiritual metamorphosis through a lot of pain that I went through, emotional suffering that was, of course, brought out by myself and karma. So when I saw these energy bracelets, I was like, oh my goodness, I think I really want them. They're pricey, but I'm still gonna buy them because I felt like I needed one for each wrist. So sometimes when I go into a building or a gathering with people, there may be some people in there who aren't managing their energy very well. Their energy is like a psychic vampire, and I walk in and I'm I'm like, oh, happy and everything, and then, oh my God, I go away from that building and I just feel so drained. So that shows me that there's someone in there, or some people in there, that I probably have some karma with, and so I am to work it out in this lifetime. So if I'm not aware of what's draining my energy, like, I'll go home and I'll meditate. And in this book, Autobiography of a Yogi, it says, it says here, solve all your problems through meditation. I tell you people that. Attune yourself to the active inner guidance. The divine voice has the answer to every dilemma in life. So when I tell people to meditate, I'm basically telling them to tap in, 1, to their higher self, to the divine voice, whether it's God, your guides, or your angels. it's a benevolent force that is there for you to help with you, and you will hear the answer always that is meant for you. It's not meant for anyone else, it's only meant for you, but you have to do the work. Because people are like, they wonder, why do you get the answers like this, and how do you know all this stuff, and how come you're so psychic and whatever. And I'm like, well, I've been meditating since 1997, and I started meditating because I couldn't sleep at night. But I also at that time I was living with someone because I was living in teacher housing in Brazil, and I had to share an apartment with someone who was not very conscious of what she was doing and what she was creating. And it was difficult for me to live with someone who was creating an existence that she didn't like, and she would be crying the blues, oh, nobody likes me or whatever. But you have to understand that your actions, everything that you do has a ripple effect, whether it's positive or negative. And if you're very self-centered and self-serving, there aren't going to be a lot of people who want to be around you because they find that it's just too much work. So anyways, I started meditating because I felt very frustrated in my life. I had a very high profile job. The demands were rigorous. I would go to sleep, and I'd be laying in my bed and I couldn't sleep. So then I thought, well, I'm going to try this meditation thing. So I just sat on the floor and I started, breathing, slowing down my breathing, centering it, being conscious of how I breathed, and trying to eliminate the thoughts in my mind. And my mind was so active. It's like, all the stuff I had to do at work the next day, and what time I was going to start and what I was going to do and all this. And so finally, after 30 days, oh my goodness, there was no more mind chatter. But it took that consistent, I went and sat on the floor every night at the same time. I wanted to clear my mind so it wasn't so busy, so when I did lay down to go to sleep, I could actually sleep, because I found that I couldn't sleep, and then I have to get up early in the morning and I'd go to work, and I wouldn't feel rested. I wouldn't feel good. So with meditation, it gave me, peace of mind. It slowed down my mind. But also the really cool thing that happened was I actually felt the hand of God come from my ceiling and touch me right on the third eye. And it was like this humongous hand that pushed out of the ceiling of my apartment, my bedroom in my apartment. And I just remember thinking, wow, I just have been touched by, I think it was God. But Brazil was a very interesting place for me to live, because there was so much psychic phenomenon there that I didn't always know what I should tell people, because I thought they would judge me and think I was, lunatic. So that was the first time that I physically felt that touch me right there. So I feel like it opened up my third eye. But also I had taken a Reiki course before I moved to Brazil, and I took my Reiki level 1 and 2, and I found that also opened up my third eye. So there are things that you can do to increase your psychic ability, but you're meant to choose what is right for you, and you're meant to do the work, because nobody can do it for you. I want to remind you, though, when you're choosing, if you're choosing something and it doesn't feel right, then it's not the way for you. So it always has to make you feel good. Sometimes things can scare you, yeah, but if you're curious like me, you want to know, why does that scare me so much? Or why does this person make me feel uncomfortable? Or why am I having problems with, say, money or food or my weight or people, or have difficult people coming into my life? And it's all karma. Karma is, it's part of your lessons that you are meant to solve. Not you solve a lesson, no. Part of the lesson it's the lessons you're meant to learn from, that you created by not doing what you're supposed to before. So now you have the opportunity, when you have a dilemma that comes into your life, that you can change and you can meet the challenge. And how do you meet the challenge? Well, you go into a quiet space and you ask your mind to show you, sorry, not me. I say to my mind, show me what this is all about, or show me the life that caused this, or show me. And so I close my eyes, and I usually wear a blindfold too, to block out the light, because then I find that because the light distracts me, so then I don't see any light, and so it's just like a big black space. Sometimes I put music on. Lately I've been playing whale music, and oh my goodness, it's so beautiful, because there's music in the background, but then there's the whales, the sound of the whales too, and I find that for me, it's just so beautiful. And sometimes the whales will talk to me, and sometimes I use the whale music. I have this one dog I work on regularly, and he asks for whale music. He really likes it. And the last time I was working with him, I actually saw him in my mind. So when I work with pets or even people, it's a mind to mind connection, and my mind connects with theirs, and then my client, whoever I'm working with in the healing, they tell me what they would like. So they'll tell me, I would like this kind of music, I'd like you to use this crystal, I'd like you to use the cold laser that you have, and they even tell me what setting they would like it on. So the dog told me that he wanted that whale music. So when it went into, I'm in my meditation space and I'm with the energy of that dog, and I work with his picture, I saw him swimming with the whales, and one whale in particular, and then I saw him on top of the whale, and I'm like, oh no, he has dog legs, right? And he's like surfing on the whale. It was so cute. Oh my goodness. And the dog, he was really playing with the whales, and he really liked it. So that was very interesting. And then I had another client who signed up for my healing specials. I have 4 healings that I do with people, and I do them for a month. So I do them once a week, so every 7 days, and they choose one night a week. That time they go to sleep, and by the time they lay down, I connect with their energy, and then I begin the healing on that with them. And all my clients are so telepathic. Oh my goodness, we connect mind to mind. They tell me what they would like. They tell me what their problem is. We work through it, and then I send them notes after. So one of my clients wanted whale music too, so a human client, and she wanted the whale music because her soul loves the ocean, because she used to be a mermaid. So in one of the healings that I conducted with her, when the whale music came on, I saw her like in the water with the whales, and she was a mermaid, and she was so happy. She played in the water with the whales, and then I feel that some dolphins came in and played with her as well, and I just felt her soul sigh. So I offer these healings to people because I found that one healing is not enough for many people. Many people have like different layers of things that they have to heal. So the more healings they receive, the deeper the layer that we get. And some people like in energy work to like peeling away the skin on an onion, and you keep on peeling it away, and finally you get to the little center, which means that you have eliminated, or you've helped them eliminate a lot of the things that have been holding them back. So it could be anything, like feeling stuck in your life, or you're not psychic enough. It could be you have a block on your third eye and you don't know why, or you aren't attracting the right kind of mate and you don't know why. So you may have some things to heal in your heart space, and those things will become apparent during a healing, because when I conduct these healings with people, I connect with their soul, and their soul is always longing for something that they haven't achieved in their life yet. So the energy work will help eliminate those blocks that they have created usually it's through karma. And it helps. It's kind of like pouring water over a fuse or something like that. So it's just, and it smooths it over, and it helps them deal with their issues in a very kind and loving way. I mean, what could be better than laying down to go to sleep at night and receiving energy healing that will remove things that you aren't able to remove physically, or you're not able to remove yourself. Even if you do energy work, having someone else work on you will produce different results than you working on yourself. And even some people who don't keep their energy really good, clean, and light won't be able to remove as much as someone who constantly works on themselves, or constantly, like for an energy worker, you are meant to give yourself Reiki, or clean your energy in a meditation, or meditate with crystals, or ask your spirit guides and your guides for help, because we're not meant to work solely alone. We're meant to work in unison with the God, or the creative force, or source, or whatever you call it. But there are always energies there that are help there to help you. And here's what I do when I'm having a really difficult time, and I hope that you try this out because I think it would be really, really conducive to some deep healing. So what I do is if I have something weird going on, like I had been working with a horse lately, and oh my goodness, that horse kept jumping into my body and making me feel the way that she did. And so, I mean, it got so bad that I couldn't even work. Like I was drained and my feet were cold, and I thought, okay, enough is enough. So I need to get to the bottom of this. So what I did, and I hear my guides tell me, this is the time to go lay down on your bed, lay on your back, put your hands flat down on the bed beside you, and put a crystal on your stomach. So I'll show you the crystal I put on my stomach. This is a beautiful, huge quartz crystal that I got in Falkland, BC one time when I went down there. So I put this on right on my solar plexus, like there. Laid down on my bed, put the crystal on my solar plexus, covered myself with my warm, fuzzy blanket, and closed my eyes. And I allowed my guides to work on me, and I heard my angels to work on me so that I would release what I had done to create these circumstances for this horse to do this to me, because obviously it's not a healthy thing to do. You know, I like to help and everything, but when it gets in the way of me enjoying my life, then no, let's not do this. So the other thing I did with the horse is I took a crystal to represent that horse, and I put it in my release ring. So it's a release ring. It's a crystalline ring, and it's a ring that has like I've shown them on my videos. It has like pieces that poke in, and so you put something in there and you can release the energy that's stored, say in a crystal that you need to clean, or I'll put objects in there. So I put a pink halide in there to represent the horse, and then since the horse had been doing that to me, I put my sheepskin slippers in there as well to release that, so I could actually function normally, because I just couldn't warm up, and it had been happening for days. And I thought, okay, this is a great time for me to just say no more of this. And with that, I said, this will never happen to me again. Nobody will be able to do that to me again, because it was so debilitating for me. I couldn't even function. And as much as I like to help people and horses and things like that, if it makes you dysfunctional, it's time to do something to yourself, to heal yourself, so you no longer draw that into your energy field and into your body. So when I did that, I had a huge insight into what this was all about. And in doing that, I actually released the weird negative energy that was causing that in the first place. So it was a win for me. It was a win for the horse, because I think it was the next day or the day after that the horse, her health turned right around, and she's been sick since August. So I knew there was something going on with her, and I like to figure things out, but it was getting in the way of my mental clarity. So when I went into that meditation space where I laid flat on my back, put my hands down beside myself on the bed, put the crystal here to I think it was to cleanse my solar plexus and then seal it and protect it, because your solar plexus is your personal power center, right? So my power was being drained, and it was like I wasn't really paying attention to it because I just wanted to help. But in doing that, I wasn't being empowered, right? So because you can help, but you don't have to do that. You don't have to be drained by anything. So that was a very valuable lesson for me, because even though I've been doing this for years, I'm still affected by energy of people, pets, plants, houses, you name it, everything, because I'm energy sensitive. So what I find is, wearing bracelets is really good. Like I said, these bracelets are wonderful. They actually are called energy bracelets, and they are available in the Dharma Shop. So I wanted to share some dilemmas with you, because if you've been struggling with things in your life and you can't make sense of it, the first thing I want you to do is I want you to meditate. And I want you to ask your mind, and when you're talking to your mind, it's like your conscious mind is talking to your subconscious mind. And your superconscious mind, that's the one that's up there. You're asking it to show you, what is this, what is the meaning for me? What is the meaning for me in this situation. How can I fix it? How can I alter my behavior so I'm no longer drawing this energy into my life? And what can I do to make sure that it no longer happens? So, I always tell people, make that cosmic egg around your body. My favorite one, though, is that you make a pyramid around your body. So the peak is above your head, and then it comes down, and the base of it goes under your feet, and you imagine that it's like it's made out of quartz or something like that. And then once you do that, you give yourself that energetic pyramid of protection, just so that you can actually function normally without being infected by other people's energies, right? Because I find it just bounces off, and you're just saying, like, I'm not interested in this right now, so, or ever. So let's not play that game. So there are ways that you can fix it. And I mean, I used to think, I don't think we should have to protect ourselves, but sometimes, because there's that thing called duality, where there's good and not so good, good and positive, negative, black and white, dark and light. And duality was created by, from the dawn of mankind, when somebody decided that they were, tempted, and then they went into temptation, and so that was something that they weren't supposed to do. And so mankind has suffered from that duality ever since then, because some people say that we have to know pain to know love, or we have to know the opposite of whatever we have to know the bad to know what the good is. And yeah, if that makes sense to you. I'm probably not even doing a very good job of explaining it, but they said to me, I am. So I don't have a lot more to say, but I wanted to say this last thing, that one of the things that I'm learning, and I really make a conscious effort to pay attention to how things make me feel, is the number one thing that will help you draw into your life what you want is being grateful. So gratitude. And gratitude, you can feel it in your heart. Like lately, I've been dealing with some amazing people who are so nice and so kind. And I heard that, Karen, it's a reflection of yourself, because you give a lot of yourself to people and you don't always expect something in return. And that's one of my faults. I do know that. But I'm working on it to change it, working on boundaries, and my life is really busy right now, and I'm so grateful for that. I love it, but I also remembered that I meant to take time out for my family. Like my son and I, we went and did some fun photo shoots yesterday, and then my poor horse, he's been neglected because he injured his leg, and I don't use my horse. I don't ride him if he has an injured leg. I want him to heal 100%, so I took him out for a ride today. And it was interesting because last night I heard from my guides. I have a horse guide, an equine guide, and he said to me, I've owned this horse for 8 years, and I've had a lot of difficulties with him. He said no a lot, but my equine guide said to me, and my spirit guide said, Hobo's decided to join up with you. And I was like, oh my God. So if you don't know what joining up is, it's that when you're working a horse in the round pen, and when they're like, you're pushing them away, and finally they face you, they have decided to become one with you, and they've decided to work with you. They made the choice to do that. So last night when I heard that he's decided to join up with me, I was like, oh my goodness. So today it was so beautiful outside, and I thought, oh, I'll saddle him up and we'll go for a ride. My goodness, I haven't ridden him for 7 or 8 weeks, so that's a long time to leave a horse, right? So when I got on him, he was very fresh. And I heard my guide say to me, ride him around in your pasture, ride him to this hill where I get him to climb this hill in my pasture, but get him so that he really listens to you. Because when I got on him, he did not want to do what I want him to do. He's excited, right? So I got him nice and calmed down, and I was taking him to where I wanted him to go. And as soon as I pointed him towards, down the driveway, down the road, he was really awesome. And I took him on an amazing ride. And I have owned him for 8 years, and when I first got him, I thought, oh my God, this horse is such a deadbeat. When is he ever gonna move? Like, he just had you could try to use your leg aids on him, he just wouldn't do anything. It was like riding a stick. There's nothing there. But today, wow, he was very excitable. He was very animated. And he was, wow, there's so much power in that horse. When I point him at a hill, he climbs it like crazy. Like he is like the Energizer Bunny. And I know that he really, really, really he really loved that ride today. And I rode him like a boss because we had such a connection, and I wasn't scared of him at all. He was very animated, very fresh. And there was one time where we came upon this vacant cabin in the woods, and he freaked out and he spun and he started like literally running on the spot. It was a lot of fun. But you know what? He trusted me to take him out of there to safety, and that's when you know that you have a really good relationship with your horse, because they're not going to run blind through the woods and kill you. They're going to trust you to take them to safety. And he did. And he still had lots of jam when I got him home, and it was such an amazing ride. So I hope you enjoyed this video about mind, body, and spirit, and I hope that I've helped you kind of figure out some things that could be happening in your life. And always thank you so much for subscribing to my YouTube channel. Don't mind me, I'm going down to get my remote that I dropped on the floor, and then I'm going to shut this video off. Thanks again. Stop.